Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Everyday English Podcast. If you enjoy learning English while listening to real life situations, you are in the right place. Today's story is about a very exciting profession. Have you ever wondered what a flight attendant's day is really like? Many people think the job is only about traveling to beautiful places. Others believe flight attendants spend their day serving food and drinks. But there is much more behind the uniform. Today, I want to take you with me on a typical workday. You will discover what happens before passengers arrive, what life is like inside the aircraft, and why teamwork is so important in aviation. So sit back, relax, and enjoy today's story. Let's begin. My name is Sophia, and I have been working as a flight attendant for almost 6 years. People often ask me, "Do you travel all the time?" The answer is yes, but my job is much more than traveling. Every flight is different. Every day brings new people, new destinations, and new experiences. Some days are calm and relaxing. Other days are full of surprises. That is one of the reasons why I love my job. No 2 days are exactly the same. My workday usually begins very early. Sometimes my alarm rings at 4 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes I have afternoon flights. Occasionally, I even work overnight. Every schedule is different. The first thing I do after waking up is drink a glass of water. Then I take a shower and get ready for work. My uniform must always look perfect. I iron my blouse the night before. My shoes are polished. My hair is neat. I wear simple makeup and a friendly smile. Appearance is important because passengers see us before they hear us. A professional appearance helps people feel confident and safe. Before leaving home, I always check my suitcase. Passport, crew ID, safety manual, tablet, phone charger, water bottle, everything must be inside. Then I leave for the airport. I usually arrive about 1 hour before the briefing. The airport is already busy. Pilots, flight attendants, cleaners, mechanics, and ground staff are all preparing for another busy day. Even early in the morning, the airport never really sleeps. The first meeting of the day is called the crew briefing. All crew members meet in a small room. Our supervisor welcomes everyone, then we review important information about the flight. We discuss today's weather, flight time, passenger information, special meals, passengers who need extra assistance, safety reminders. Sometimes we have babies on board, sometimes elderly passengers, sometimes people traveling with pets. Every passenger has different needs. The briefing helps us prepare for all situations. After the briefing, we walk together to the aircraft. Every time I enter the airplane, I feel a sense of responsibility. Before passengers board, we perform safety checks. We check emergency equipment, fire extinguishers, first aid kits, seat belts, emergency exits, life jackets, oxygen bottles. Everything must be exactly where it belongs. Safety always comes first. When everything is ready, boarding begins. Passengers start entering the aircraft. Some people smile, some look tired, others are excited because they are going on vacation. I stand near the aircraft door. I smile and say, "Good morning. Welcome on board. Your seat is on the left. Have a wonderful flight." A smile can change someone's day. Some passengers are nervous about flying. I try to speak calmly. Sometimes they ask, "Is it going to be a smooth flight?" I answer honestly, "The weather looks good today. We'll take good care of you." Most people feel more relaxed after a short conversation. When boarding is complete, we prepare for departure. We check seatbelts, cabin baggage, seat backs, tray tables, window shades, electronic devices. Everything must be ready before takeoff. Then I make one of my favorite announcements. "Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome on board. Please fasten your seatbelts and enjoy today's flight." Even after hundreds of flights, I still enjoy making that announcement. It reminds me why I chose this career. Soon, the aircraft begins to move. We sit in our jump seats, the engines become louder, the airplane accelerates. A few seconds later, we are in the sky. I still love that moment. Looking through the window, I see clouds below us. The city becomes smaller and smaller. Every takeoff feels like a new beginning. Once the seatbelt sign is turned off, our work becomes busier. We prepare the cabin service. We organize the carts, coffee, tea, juice, soft drinks, snacks, meals. Everything must be ready quickly. But serving food is only a small part of our job. While walking through the cabin, we constantly observe passengers. Does anyone look sick? Is someone feeling anxious? Does anyone need help? We pay attention to many small details. Sometimes passengers simply want someone to talk to. A friendly conversation can make a long flight much more enjoyable. One afternoon, I noticed an elderly woman traveling alone. She looked nervous. I sat beside her for a moment. She told me it was her first flight in more than 20 years. She was visiting her granddaughter. We talked for a few minutes. By the end of the flight, she was smiling. Before leaving the aircraft, she held my hand and said, "Thank you for making me feel safe." Moments like that remind me why I love this profession. Being a flight attendant is not only about serving passengers, it is about caring for people. Sometimes they remember your smile more than the meal you served. About halfway through the flight, everything was going well. Most passengers were reading, sleeping, or watching movies. Suddenly, the captain made an announcement. "Ladies and gentlemen, we are expecting some turbulence. Please return to your seats and fasten your seat belts." My coworkers and I immediately stopped the service and secured the carts. We walked through the cabin, making sure everyone was seated safely. A few moments later, the airplane began to shake. The turbulence was not dangerous, but some passengers looked nervous. I noticed a little boy holding his mother's hand. He looked frightened. When it was safe, I smiled at him and said, "Don't worry, this happens sometimes. The airplane is built to fly safely through turbulence." He looked at me and asked, "Are you scared?" I smiled. "I've experienced this many times." He smiled back. A calm voice can make a big difference. A few minutes later, the turbulence was over and the flight continued normally. Later, an elderly passenger pressed the call button. She felt a little dizzy. I brought her some water while another flight attendant informed the captain. After a few minutes, she felt much better and thanked us for our help. Moments like these remind me that our job is about much more than serving meals. It is about caring for people. Soon the captain announced our descent. We prepared the cabin for landing by checking seat belts, tray tables, and carry-on bags. Then we took our seats. I looked out the window and watched the city getting closer. A few minutes later, we landed safely. As passengers left the aircraft, many smiled and thanked us. One businessman stopped before leaving. He said, "Thank you for your kindness. You made this flight very comfortable." Comments like that always make my day. After everyone left, we checked the cabin one last time. Then we headed to the hotel because we would stay overnight before our next flight. That evening, my crew and I had dinner together. We shared stories, laughed, and talked about our day. One of the best parts of this profession is the friendships we build. The next morning, before returning to the airport, I went for a short walk. The weather was beautiful. I bought a cup of coffee and watched the sunrise. Moments like that remind me how special this career is. Many people believe being a flight attendant is only about traveling. Yes, I visit beautiful places. Yes, I stay in different hotels. But the most rewarding part of my job is helping people. Sometimes a smile can calm a nervous passenger. Sometimes a few kind words can make someone's day better. Every flight is different. Every passenger has a story. For a few hours, I become part of that story, and I never take that responsibility for granted. After 6 years, I still feel proud every time I wear my uniform. I still enjoy welcoming passengers on board. I still love watching the sunrise from an airport window, and I still believe I chose the right career. Thank you so much for listening to my story. I hope you enjoyed practicing your English with me. Now I have a question for you. Have you ever traveled by plane? Or would you like to become a flight attendant one day? Write your answer in English in the comments. I'd love to read it. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and join us for another episode of Everyday English Podcasts. Keep learning, keep listening, and remember, every journey begins with a single step. See you next time. Goodbye.